Hey YouTube, hey subscribers, thanks for tuning in. On a video I posted called Teaching Children About Narcissism, a viewer left a comment with a link to another YouTube channel of a covert narcissist, a recovering covert narcissist, basically giving her confessions about herself, her behaviors, her mindset, her attitudes to the entire world. She uses her real name. Really just kind of lays it out there. And I even left a comment on one of her videos that said, God bless your honesty, because for me, watching her and listening to her has been very confirming, very validating, and it also makes me really, really sad, which I'll get into. Now, this particular video is about 10 minutes long. I'm going to put the whole thing in here, and I'll also link it in the description box. I'm not posting this to shame this individual or embarrass her. I'm actually posting it because I think it is an amazing piece of work in terms of building awareness, in terms of validating everything that we've thought, everything that we've believed about narcissists in the world. It's just so eye-opening that I had to share it, and she's done a whole lot more. So I definitely plan on spending some time on that channel. The reason it makes me sad is because when I reflect on all the experiences I've had with narcissism, covert, overt, and everything in between, there was always a period of time where I blamed myself, where I thought it was me, where my self-esteem took a hit, where I went into deep depression as a result of interacting with these people. And to know that it was so conscious, they were so aware that they had purpose behind every action, every inaction, everything was calculated, it was all intentional. And to know the suffering that I went through and that other people are going through and have gone through as a result of someone's intentional actions, it makes me very, very sad. It makes me regret and resent the time that I lost behind these people. So it's like, I'm putting this video up here so you guys will know and have a real example, because I'm always giving verbal examples from the media here and there, but rarely do we get a real life example of someone who says, I'm suffering with this, and I'm trying to get better with it. But she's just confessing everything that she's done to friends, family, her husband. And I think it's very brave, very bold. Some of you might have different opinions on her motivations behind it. I'm very good at taking information from something and then leaving the rest behind. So regardless of what her motivations may or may not be, she's giving some raw, uncut truth on her channel. And it's amazing. It makes you want to sit down and just go, wow, this is really happening. All the speculation, all the conversation, all the discussion, it's so real. It's really real, and it's really affecting society. So I think the more that we do our part, our side of the conversation of what we see, what we're experiencing, and I think even the more of them that come forward and confess to what they've done, what they've been doing to other people, to people close to them, I think the more that we have that realness, that honest conversation, the more we can expose this disorder and make it very hard for it to operate and exist in society, which has always been my goal. I don't think any of us can get rid of narcissism because I think it's outside of our scope of control. But what we can do is make everyone so aware of it that people with the disorder cannot function in the world. They can't operate. They won't be able to accomplish much. They won't be able to do much because as a society, we will be saying, no, we don't want this anymore. We're not doing this anymore. So I'm going to share that video clip with you, and then I'm going to come back with a few thoughts afterwards. This is going to be a long video, so settle in. Hopefully you have a nice commute or something. Here comes the video clip right now.
Hi, I'm Sade Brown, and I'm a 29-year-old recovering covert narcissist. In this particular video, I kind of want to talk to you guys, and I'm using my husband as an example because, we've been together for the last 10 years, and I pretty much have observed his behaviors forward and backwards, I feel like I know him. But I want to talk to you guys about some of the traits that codependents have that I was sort of jealous, or better yet, envious of, because I just didn't understand how someone could be like this, considering, everything that occurs in life, I didn't understand how they could be like that, pretty much, and I couldn't, But as I've been doing these videos, and this may sound narcissistic, but I listen to my own videos on YouTube specifically because it helps me. Especially the videos talking about, my childhood and stuff like that. I do replay those, 2 or 3 times. So a couple of the views are me. But yeah, so I'll start off by saying that my issue with codependence in general and these positive traits I kind of want to talk about that you guys possess is just a natural, deep, and uncontrollable envy that I don't naturally have those traits. I have to kind of pretend like I do. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is forgiveness. My husband has just this natural ability to forgive people. I don't care what you do. You could probably punch him in the throat, you know what I mean? And he will forgive you. He won't hold it against you. He will not skip a beat. Like, he'll just keep going as if it didn't happen. Me, on the other hand, I find it extremely difficult to forgive. And as a matter of fact, what kind of prompted me to do this YouTube channel in the first place, I went to a fourth watch at my church. And a fourth watch service is pretty much a late night service. So we went to church from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. and we prayed. And my pastor, he sort of surveyed the room. And he asked us, if there was anything that he specifically wanted us to pray for. And so I went to the front and I asked him to, pray that I have the ability to forgive, because even now I'm still holding on to just this. Is pissed offness a word? Because I'm just pissed off, just in general, especially after now finally being able to speak on some of the things that happened to me during my childhood. I'm still mad, and I'm trying to let it go. But see, the thing is, and I can't speak for anybody else, but I'll speak for myself specifically. I don't forgive because I just don't forget. Like, there were people that I went to school with, back in 4th and 5th grade. I can still tell you what the hell they said that pissed me off. You know what I mean? I'm still holding it against them. And I don't trust people simply because I don't forgive. If I can't forgive you, then how can I ever trust you? You know what I'm saying? I go into a situation not forgiving. I'm already looking for your downfalls, and stuff like that. And because of that, I just don't trust you. Hell, I really don't trust myself because I know that, I just know I can't be trusted necessarily. I have my notes again. But as far as my parents are concerned, I haven't forgiven them, even though I've been kind of talking about it in the videos. I'm scared of dogs. Oh, it's over there. I'm scared. Wait a minute. Whoa. Shut up. Got me off track. I haven't forgiven my parents, you know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. I want to forgive them, and that's why I'm trying to talk through this stuff now. However, this is the first time in my life where I've actually, allowed myself to be angry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not pushing that angry off onto somebody else. I'm allowing myself to sit here, be pissed off about it, so I can find the strength to forgive them. Hopefully find the strength to forgive them. But as it stands right now, I am still pissed off. Because I just can't believe, I just can't believe it. But I'm hoping that, eventually I have the emotional strength or even the emotional capacity to just move past it. Because I feel like if I can move past this, I can move past anything. If I can forgive them and they're dead, I can forgive, the chick at the train station that gave me a funny look. I can move past that. You know what I mean? But as it stands right now, no. Second trait my husband possesses that I really, really love is his generosity. He has the ability to do things for people and not expect anything in return. He's also naturally kind, or shall I say benevolent. Me, on the other hand, as crappy as it may sound, I really do things for people and bring it back up later just because I can. I don't do anything unless I feel like I'm going to get something in return. And that's specifically, why I talked to you guys in a previous video about the 3 stages of a narcissistic relationship. That's why I give in the idolization stage, because I want you to give to me. I show you how I want you to treat me. And when you don't meet that bar I was talking about, that pisses me the hell off. It really grinds my gears. And I try not to be selfish, but it's just that inner voice, like, in my head, it's always like, well, think about what you did. Are they doing, the same or what you did? Blah, blah, blah. It just won't let me be right, and I talk more about my inner voice, in later videos. But for now, I kind of want to just stick to subject because it's kind of cold out here and I want to hurry up and get finished. The last thing I want to talk about that I really love about him is the fact that he has long-lasting relationships and he's naturally popular. My husband has friends that have, spanned over decades. These are people he went to middle school with, elementary school with. He's 30 and, he still talks to people he went to high school with. Me, on the other hand, I don't have any friends that I went to high school with. Would I like to? Yeah, because it would make me feel better about myself knowing that I could keep a friendship going that long, but I don't. He also naturally has a lot of friends. People love him. He's always invited places and stuff like that. Me, on the other hand, pretty much a loner. You know what I mean? And the thing is, even in times when, say he hasn't had a lot of friends, he didn't seem to care in the way that I did, and I think I get on his nerves sometimes because I'm constantly talking about the fact that I don't have many friends, Now that I'm able to, that I've been doing these videos and stuff like that, I can own my part. I know why I don't have any friends because I pushed all my friends away. But he does. People, from what I see, people actually like him. They call him, if he needs to borrow some money from somebody, they give him money. If I need to borrow some money from somebody, no. My friends, like I said before, they don't necessarily last long because I usually get tired of people quickly. They annoy me and I'm just like, you know what? Don't want to talk to you no more. Sometimes I tell you why, or I make up a reason why, or sometimes I just up one day and I just stop talking to you. So my friendships are pretty much a revolving door. I'm gonna probably shoot another video about this soon because there are some more traits about him that I do like, that I lack. We talked about forgiveness and trust and stuff like that. I believe that my husband has trust for people because he usually gives people the benefit of the doubt. Me, on the other hand, I don't trust anybody. Hell, I really don't even trust my husband. As sad as this may sound, I go through the man's phone, when he's not looking. Go through his pockets before I wash clothes. I don't know, I just always have this inkling that he's going to cheat on me, and I've accused this man of cheating on me several times throughout the years. And actually, a few months ago, he actually left me because I accused him of cheating. And that's one of the things that kind of prompted me to, self-reflect. And that's something that I've never done before. Self-reflect. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for right now. Gonna go grab me some breakfast or something because I'm starving. But, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, so we've had an opportunity to hear from a recovering covert narcissist, and there's just a few things that I wanted to pull out from the video and discuss with you guys. So one of the first things that she said was she observed her husband forward and backward. I've been meaning to do a video on this for a long time, but I do think I've mentioned it before, and it's that sense that narcissists are watching you. You feel like you're being stalked, really, even in a room full of people. You can kind of always feel feel their eyes on you. Even if you're not looking at them, you can feel it or see it out of your peripheral vision. And it's the creepiest thing. And I've always known that that's what they're doing. They're watching you. They're watching your every move, your reactions, how you respond, what you laugh at, what you don't laugh at. They're watching for shifts in your mood. So the same YouTuber did a different video where she talks about how she got really good at observing micro expressions. I mean, it doesn't get much more creepy than that. So, the minute, like if you ate something and then the minute your stomach starts hurting and you're like, ooh, they see that. And I just find that to be so creepy, but it's all part of their cataloging process. It's all part of how they are basically studying you in order to work you over. So she confesses to that right out front. Then she kind of moves into the reason that she was jealous or envious of not only her husband, she highlighted her husband, but I think she was speaking in general also. And she kind of posed the question, how could you still be happy in spite of everything that's happened in your life? And I never considered it from that angle. Never. I never thought that somebody would be jealous or envious of me because of my ability to overcome life's obstacles. Because although I'm very optimistic, and a cheerful person in general, a very happy person, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of things, not just with narcissists. They've been a major cause, but I've been through a lot of things. And it was tough at the time. I went through a tough period. I told you all, and I've shared with you all before, I've been through depressions before. So it's not that I haven't gone through the hard things in life. It's just that I came out of them and overcame them. And part of my ability to do that is just the way that I choose to approach life, which it appears that she was confessing that she doesn't know how to take that approach. She didn't say those words, but it's almost like they don't know how to pull themselves back up once they go down into the valley. And instead of calling to the people on the edge of the valley saying, hey, help me up, they resent the people on the edge of the valley, which is just crazy. This was really, really insightful. She said that she had a natural, deep, and uncontrollable envy about those traits. Natural, deep, and uncontrollable. I mean, we could pause there and we could just spend the rest of the video on that quote alone. I did a video called Never Underestimate the Power of Jealousy or Narcissist Jealousy, something like that. And this is essentially what I was getting at. Their jealousy overrides them. It takes them over. It consumes them. And once that jealousy consumes a narcissist, it's all that they think about. It's all that they focus on. And they can't do anything else until they have somehow overridden that jealousy. And the only way that they know how to override it is to destroy the thing that is causing the problem. They will do this in spite of everything. So in spite of what it might cost them financially, in spite of what it might cost them in terms of relationships. And the one that irritates me the most is in spite of the proper function and flow of a business and the goals of a business, they will put all that to the side in favor of this natural, deep, and uncontrollable envy that consumes them over things that you aren't even doing intentionally. There are people in the world who go out with the express purpose of trying to make other people jealous and envious of them. You, on the other hand, are just being yourself, and they're actually envious and jealous of who you are as a person, of your ability to overcome difficult obstacles, of your ability to forgive, which we'll get into, of your generosity, of your popularity. We'll get into all that though. It's scary and it's kind of crazy. It's not kind of crazy, it is crazy, but it's real. And I'm so glad that this individual is doing these videos because it's just fortifying the knowledge base that's out there regarding this particular disorder. She then goes into how she had to pretend like she has those traits, and she does get into that more in other videos, but she doesn't have them naturally, and she hated codependence and hated her husband essentially. It's funny because as she goes through the video, it morphs from what she was jealous of to what she really loves about him. And I got a little confused because I thought that she was highlighting the traits that she hated, but then I realized she still is highlighting the traits that she hated. What happened was a natural confession came out that I really do admire these things about you. And that's when she started using the term love. But then that admiration turns into hate, jealousy, and envy, and a desire to destroy the traits that they cannot have. So then she goes into more specifics. So she said that her husband has a natural ability to forgive. No matter what you do to him, he will forgive a person for it. And that she finds it very, very difficult to forgive, mainly because she can't forget. And then that inability to forget converts into holding grudges. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily a narcissistic trait. I don't think a lot of people can forget things that have happened to them. I think what happens is the difference between a narcissist and someone who's not a narcissist is, though they don't forget, they either just don't deal with that person anymore. It's like, okay, I forgive you, but I don't have to interact with you anymore. That's not part of forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean I still have to interact with you. Forgiveness just means I'm not going to hold on to the hate, bitterness, anger, resentment toward you. I release that, but I also don't have to interact with you. Or some people choose to forgive and then continue to interact with the person. Either way, the grudge is gone. Whereas a narcissist not only doesn't forget, but they hold a permanent grudge, also known as a narcissistic injury, that they feel the need to make retribution for. Now, one thing I don't know is, once they've made the retribution, are they satisfied, or is it an eternal retribution? That I don't know. I need to look into that. She also went into how she doesn't trust because she can't forgive. But here's what I thought was very, very interesting and very, very insightful. She says that she knows she can't be trusted. So she doesn't trust. She doesn't trust anyone, but she also doesn't trust herself. And she knows she can't be trusted. So let's think about that from a narcissistic perspective. If you have a target, you're a narcissist, you've scooped your target in, and you see that this target thinks the world of you. They trust you. They trust your opinion. They trust what you say. And you know you can't be trusted. It creates an automatic disrespect for that person, because it's like, why in the world would you trust me? Are you crazy? Are you insane? You must be. And because you are so trusting and foolish and insane, I'm going to take advantage of you and hurt you almost as a punishment. And she did a video on that too. How basically it's almost like a punishment for being so foolish. It's just so, oh man, it's so twisted up. Anyway, she then kind of goes into maybe perhaps some of the roots of narcissism and what's causing all of this. And she said that, there's a lot of things that happened with her parents that she's only just now starting to attempt to forgive, because this is the first time that she's ever allowed herself to be angry. And I do think this is characteristic of narcissists. They're in such deep denial about who they are, what they feel, what is real, that they bury everything. Not only your preferences, your opinions, and all of that, they also bury their own in favor of an artificial world that serves no one. So for the narcissists that can be saved, part of the first thing that they have to do is get real about everything. They have to get honest with themselves, with other people, with reality. They have to be for real, because for the most part, they live in a make-believe, makeshift fantasy land. And it doesn't serve anyone, including themselves, which is just bizarre that they will continue to hurt themselves in spite of themselves. It's crazy. So then she kind of covers her husband's naturally kind, generous, benevolent nature. And she went into a little bit about how she's not that way, because anytime that she gives, she's giving to get. She's giving for the express purpose of getting something back. And she kind of starts describing the love bombing, idolization, or idealization phase, and how that really for her was just setting the bar. And that for me triggered like a major epiphany, because I look back on some of my previous narcissistic friendships, and I remember in the beginning the gifts that would come in, and I'm like, this feels weird. Like, we haven't been friends that long for you to be extending this level of generosity. It felt weird. And I used to describe it to other people as, I feel like I'm being courted, or I feel like this person is trying to date me, but I was getting bombarded with gifts. It was just strange, man. It was really, really weird. And it turned out to be a very odd attachment, one that I eventually had to sever because it was just getting too convoluted and too entangled. And I didn't like it. It made me very uncomfortable. But now seeing her say that, what I realize now is that that individual was attempting to set a bar with me and basically say, this is what I expect out of you. I'm doing this for you because this is what I expect out of you. And sure enough, as that friendship played out, the expectations regarding certain things were completely lopsided, imbalanced, and unrealistic. And also, once again, felt like dating. I'm like, I'm not dating you. We're not dating. What is this? It just all got too weird, but now I see what it was. Another individual tried that with me recently, and I wouldn't let her do it. She wanted to give me this very specific gift. I said, please don't do that. It's fine. I'll take care of it. I'll get it myself, but please don't do that. That's way too much. And she didn't. And I'm glad I did not allow that to happen, because that would have been the very beginning stages of this bar setting, love bombing situation that's almost impossible to back out of. Almost impossible. I do plan on doing a video called Never Accept a Favor from a Narcissist. It'll just come a little bit later down the line here. Finally, she goes into her husband's ability to form long-lasting relationships, and how she doesn't have any real long-term friends or anyone that she can, really call on or count on to be there for her. Interestingly enough, she talks about how she gets tired of them versus them getting tired of her. So I thought that was very unusual, because you would think it would be, well, they get sick of my narcissistic behaviors and then they eventually all dump me, but she dumps them, which makes sense because narcissists discard people once they're done with them. But I thought that was interesting. She talks about how her husband is naturally popular. Man, oh man, this might be a spin-off video as well, because when I reflect on my issues on the job, my problems on the job, which I've talked about in multiple different videos, it always is so bizarre to me, because I consider myself to be a very hardworking individual. I consider myself to be very friendly. I consider myself to be uniquely devoted in that I'll work after hours, I'll work on the weekends. It doesn't matter. My only goal is finishing the job so we can move forward in life. I'm very focused on accomplishing the tasks that I've been assigned. So, it always was unusual to me, and it always struck me as odd when I would have these interpersonal issues on the job, something I'd never experienced before. I didn't have interpersonal issues in school, and I did not have interpersonal issues in college. It was only once I hit the workforce that I started to have interpersonal issues, not performance issues, interpersonal issues. And it bothered me because I had never experienced it before. And then it kept happening over and over again. So when she said this naturally popular line, I started to go back in my mind on all the jobs that I've had. And on every single job, I make friends immediately, and whoever my audience is likes me immediately. So be that a group of students, a group of attendees, a group of employees that maybe I'm teaching or training, they all take to me right away. And I think now that natural popularity, people taking to me right away, people stopping by the desk just to say hello, just to talk, just to chit chat, people coming by. I think when the narcissists that were around me saw that and see that, it drove them crazy, and it drives them crazy because people aren't doing that with them, mainly because you're narcissists. You're ranting, raging narcissists. So people aren't stopping by to say hello. People aren't stopping by just to be friendly. And I never thought that they would even care about that, because most of the narcissists that I've known appear to have friendship circles. They appear to have family support structures. So you would think that they wouldn't care about me being nice, making friends, getting to know my new coworkers. You'd think that that wouldn't affect them, but it does, because it's not them. It's not that it's you, it's that it's not them. And that's the key. It's not them. So they really don't care that it is you. It's more about the fact that it's not them, and it drives them crazy. And I believe that it's been behind a lot of the sabotage and a lot of the unnecessary drama that I've experienced on the job has been as a result of that. And I've even tried to take the strategy of, okay, starting a new job, be polite, but don't be too friendly, so you don't draw people to you like bees are drawn to honey. So be polite, but not too friendly. And without fail, it doesn't work. Even when I'm trying to be closed off and in a shell and kind of keep to myself, people still come to me. And the narcissist sees that and they hate it. And it drives them crazy, and they have to destroy it. That's the only thing that they know how to do, is destroy. They don't know how to give life. They don't know how to create. They don't know how to manufacture happiness and goodwill towards other people. The only thing they know how to do is wipe it out. So that was very eye-opening for me. Finally, she closes with how this is the first time in her life that she's ever engaged in self-reflection. And I've said that on many videos before. Narcissists don't self-reflect. They don't look back. They don't analyze their life. They don't question anything. They just move forward. And to use a cliche, like a bull in a china shop, has no idea what it's doing, breaking everything, and it's just being a bull, moving forward, doesn't realize the damage that it's causing. And so that's the power of self-reflection, is that ability to course correct as a result of your previous history. And most narcissists refuse to do that because it's just too painful, because then they have to look at all the hurt, harm, and damage that they've caused other people in their lives. So those were all of my notes that I wanted to bring out from this video. I thought this was a very, very good confession, very, very good example. I hope this individual continues to do this work. I do believe her intentions are good. Even if they weren't, doesn't matter, because the information is just too golden. It's too perfect. It's too robust to ignore. So I do hope you check out this channel, and I hope this video has been helpful and informational for you as well. Looking forward to the discussion. Take care, and as always, I grant you the permission to exist. Bye-bye.